Good morning. This is cause number 2020-10337 in the interest of Deverick Hardy. Ma'am, please raise your right hand to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Can you hear her, Ms. Armstrong?
I can barely hear her. Can you speak up, Ms. Young? Your volume was louder before.
Can you hear me better?
There you go. Okay, so your answer is yes?
Yeah. Yes. Sorry. Yes.
All right, ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Tatiana Young. I'm the custodial parent.
And for
Devarick Hardy.
the state?
Yes.
Koya
Sorry?
Armstrong, representing the Office of the Attorney General.
All right, the court will note that the non-custodial parent is LeJourn Hardy. Mr. Hardy served on May 8th, 2020 at 8:57 a.m. at 8610 Lamppost Lane in Houston, Harris County, Texas. He did not file an answer. Is that correct, Ms. Armstrong?
That is correct. He did not file an answer. He did appear briefly for negotiation and decided he didn't want to participate. And so we're going to wanting to proceed with the default today. But he did not file an answer, Your Honor.
Okay, he was given further notice by certified mail of this Zoom hearing that was delivered August 15th, 2020 at 1:18 p.m. He's not in, is that correct?
That's correct.
So we'll proceed by default.
Thank you. I'd like to call Ms. Young.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the mother of Deverick Hardy?
Yes, ma'am.
And who is the father?
LeJourn Hardy.
And in fact, Mr. Hardy signed a document called Acknowledgement of Paternity. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have health insurance available for the child?
Yes, ma'am. Medicaid.
Okay. And we were able to calculate how much Mr. Hardy would have to pay for that. Is that correct, for the medical?
Yes, ma'am.
And we came up that based on his minimum wage income, it would be about $113 per month for the medical payment.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're okay with that beginning October 1st of 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
We also calculate his child support based on minimum wage. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And he has no other children that we know of. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So therefore, the child support will be $205 per month. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
And are
ma'am.
you okay with that also beginning on October 1st of 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, we calculated retroactive child support, which is the back child support, did we not?
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
you and Mr. Hardy used to live together at some point.
Yes, ma'am.
What month did y'all stop living together?
February 2019.
So we were able to calculate retroactive child support from February of 2019 through today's date. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And we got about 20 months.
Yes, ma'am.
In those last 20 months, has Mr. Hardy given you any money for child support for the child?
No, ma'am.
So we were able to calculate child support for the last 20 months would be about $4,100. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to award this judgment in your favor against Mr. Hardy?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you okay if I ask the court to have Mr. Hardy pay $20 per month towards that judgment?
Yes, ma'am. That's fine.
And that payment would also begin October 1st, 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now let's talk about the family violence issue that is on this case.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hardy went to jail, is that right?
Yes, ma'am. He did.
And can you tell the court why he went to jail?
It was the charge was assault on a family member, and I was the family member.
Okay, and when did Mr. Hardy get released from jail on that charge?
November 24, 2018.
18, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Hardy used to know where you live at one point. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And does he know where you live now?
No, ma'am.
If he were to know where you live now, could that potentially cause any harm or harassment to you or the child?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
And the last time Mr. Hardy did know where you live, can you tell the judge a brief summary of what occurred?
He informed a group of girls, including his girlfriend that he lives with now, where I stayed. And 10 girls came to my apartment at I believe like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, threw a hammer through my window. I made a call to the police and made a police report on that. I later found out through one of the girls that participated in those activities, along with a screenshot of messages, that he gave them my address and sent them to my house.
And is this why you moved since then?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
And because of this, are you asking the court to approve a non-disclosure finding to protect your address and contact information?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Thank you. Now, because the case is marked family violence, we talked about conservatorship. And I'm asking the court to award you sole managed conservator of the child. Are you okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
And to make Mr. Hardy the possessory conservator of the child.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, we also talked about visitation, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, has Mr. Hardy, how old is the child, first of all?
DeVarke's 3. He'll be 4 on December 25th.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, in the last 3 years, has Mr. Hardy seen the child consistently on his own?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and because of that, and the mixed with family violence, I'm requesting of the court to do a phased-in modified visitation. Are you okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and we discussed that this modified visitation comes with 4 phases, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And the first phase, you agreed to supervise visits. Who do you want to supervise?
With his mom, with LeJean Hardy's mom, my son's grandma, LaWanda Hardy.
Okay, and you've already spoken with the grandmother about this, and she's okay with it all, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Isn't that where he lives?
No, he does not stay there. That's the address that he's using on file, but he does not live there at all.
That's where
He's moved, correct? That's where he was served, and that's the address that he gives to everyone. But he's moved recently with his girlfriend.
but he's not living there now.
No, he's been moved out since last year. I'll say about around April of last year.
All right.
But despite that, that's the address he gives everyone, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, so now you've agreed to do phase 1 from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. every other Saturday, supervised, correct? And you want the court to do about 63 period visitation for that phase?
Yes, ma'am.
And then phase two, I think you wanted
So,
10.
have you been explained, ma'am, what the modified possession and access terms are?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay, and you agree with them?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay,
Okay.
I didn't want to go
All
through the
right.
whole thing.
Yes, sir, no problem. And then if Harris County decides to bill one of you for court costs, who should have to pay the court costs?
LaJean Hardy.
Okay. I believe that's all I have for the order, Your Honor. And I
All
pass
right,
the witness.
we'll approve the order submitted. Thank you very much.
Thank you. May we be excused?
Yes.
Okay. You can go ahead and log off, Ms. Young. Thank you for your time.
Is this the
Thank
one
you.
with
You have a
swore
good one.
guy?
Bye-bye.